of the new wing. High upon the jagged peaks of Mount Horeb lived Nesher, a king of the sky. For many years he had ruled the winds, his shadow dancing across the valleys below. But lately, the air felt heavier. The feathers that once carried him to the clouds were now frayed, brittle, and caked with the dust of 1,000 journeys. He was tired, and the sky felt further away than ever before. It wasn't just his wings that had grown old. His beak, once sharp enough to snap the north wind, had grown long and curved so far that he could barely eat. His talons, his pride and strength, were thick and dull. Nesher knew that he could not continue as he was. To stay the same was to fade away, but to change required a journey into a deep, lonely silence. With a heavy heart and labored breath, Nesher flew to a hidden cleft in the high rock, a place far from the sight of other eagles. There were no cheering thermals here, no easy prey, and no companions to witness his struggle. There was only the cold stone, the whistling wind, and the watchful presence of the Creator. The first step of renewal was the most painful. Nesher turned to the unyielding wall of the cave and struck his beak against the stone. Over and over, he hammered at the rock, until the old, overgrown part of him broke away. It was a surrender of his only defense, a choice to be broken so that he might eventually be made whole. Without his beak, Nesher was utterly helpless. He waited in the shadows, unable to hunt or protect himself. His heart beat a slow rhythm of prayer in the dark. "I am empty," he whispered into the gloom. In that quiet place, he realized that before he could be filled with new life, he had to be truly, completely empty of himself. Slowly, through the long weeks of waiting, a new, sharp beak began to grow. As soon as it was strong enough, Nesher began the grueling work of plucking out his old feathers. He pulled at the heavy, matted plumage that had served him for a lifetime. One by one, the memories of old flights and past seasons fell to the cavern floor. Soon, Nesher was bare. The mountain winds crept into the cave and bit at his skin. He felt small and unkingly, stripped of the grandeur he had once claimed as his own. In the nakedness of his isolation, he realized his worth did not come from the strength of his wings, but from the one who had fashioned them in the first place. In the depth of his weakness, a gentle warmth began to fill the cave. It was not the heat of the sun, but a golden presence that whispered of a hope yet unseen. Nesher stopped his straining and simply rested, allowing the great maker to finish the hidden work within his spirit. He was not alone, he was being held. Day by day, sleek new feathers pushed through. They were stronger, lighter, and shimmered with a luster he hadn't known even in his youth. His talons grew back sharp and firm, ready to grip the heights once more. The heavy burden of the past had been replaced by the lightness of grace. With a cry of joy that echoed through the canyons, Nesher stepped to the edge of the cliff and threw himself into the sky. He rose higher than he ever had, soaring on the breath of the spirit. He was a new creation, born of the mountain's fire and the silence of the cave, ready to fly forever for the glory of the king.